Hi, my name is Willie. We're going to be going over the rear mower today. More specifically, the tractor wiring half. So I hope you enjoy. First things first, had to wire up our trailer plug. I set that right up here out of the way. I use this this older style trailer plug so no one can plug a trailer in here by accident. So none of my trailers around here use this plug, so this will be specific to this rear mower. So I rewired a little bit. Let's see if I can't get this where it'll look good. So over here is just regular trailer wiring. Your brake controller, green which should be a right turn, brown which is running lights, white which is ground, yellow for left turn, black which should be in the center for 12 volts. That'd be regular trailer wiring, but this is how I have this trailer plug wired up. So I have 12 volts is still black in the center. That's coming from my battery, which is run through a fuse. I have my yellow, which is going to be coming from a button to reset the throttle. I have my white, which is my battery ground, which is grounded back here about to the frame from the trailer plug. I have brown, which is hooked up to a switch on the dash for my ignition. And the blue wire, which is going to be my ground from my brake pedal. Okay, so let me go up to the dash. I know this dash isn't really pretty, but it works. I'm going to get this redone someday. And this would have been the location for the electric deck lift. This is manual lift. You would flip the switch up and down for the electric lift, which is why there's lift here. It would have been lift up or down. So there's already an existing hole here, however, it just had a plug in it. So I just had to put my button here to reset the throttle. And this will be my ignition switch, which I had to drill this hole for it. To mock up that hole, I went over here and marked where these holes were at using this screw and mark that. And I just had to flip it over here, stick it in that screw hole, so I could line up this hole to match the other side. So this will be my rear mower ignition. So when this is on, my mower ignition will be on. It's uneven ground back here, give me a break. There's a brake switch back here with these two bolts with 4 wires, 2 wires for the start circuit and then 2 wires for the brakes circuit for the attachment. So I have my umbilical coming out in the back here. Let me see if there's a better angle I can get on that. Back here I have my wires coming in. My yellow, my brown, and then the blue wires down here from the switch from down underneath, and they hook into this wire harness as well. Kind of hard to see up under here, but I have my 12 volts going into the top. So one fuse is coming from down here from the starter relay, and then I have my black wire hooked up, which goes to the trailer plug. And then on the bottom of this switch is the brown wire, which there's 2 connections on that brown wire. One goes to the mower, and the other one comes over here to the reset switch to reset the throttle. And then the yellow would be the signal that goes out to reset that. Okay, and then it's just a regular conduit going down to the rear mower. So it's pretty basic, just 3 switches, a button, a switch, and a brake switch. And I had to find a custom brake switch to fit in that from another tractor, but it worked beautifully. Mixed up my pause and my records last time I was trying to record this, so I'm doing this on another day, and I'm going to sneak this into the video. So saying, this is a combination of 3 years of ideas and redesigns. We had first designed this, we had this fixed. We found out that when the deck would hit the ground, it would lift the whole frame assembly, so we actually cut slots in this angle iron and flat stock to allow it to float up and down. At the same time, this angle iron here keeps the flat stock from moving back. So we have float in the front and the back, and the wheels ride in the ground, so we can still adjust the cutting height via that pin. And these are run flats because the other tires kept dry rotting. They didn't want to hold up sitting outside in the weather. So while this is all set up, I'm going to fire this up quick, which I can show you this little light here. This is my indicator light to let me know the ignition is on, so I'll go flip that switch on and show you that lights up. So now we got ignition. Just wanted to show you that. I'm in the middle of changing a few things. I want to put a leg assembly on the side of this hitch so I can lift the front of this up and get up underneath it to clean the grass out. So I'm going to start working on that today. I'll probably put a video up on it later. And I also want to put a ball hitch on here, as you can see. So I don't have to mess around with the pin. I can just drop it on, tighten it down. I don't have to carry any tools with me. And this was just a mock-up piece of aluminum. I was just fooling around with it. I want to use steel because it's heavier gauge, and I can weld the pin so I only have to undo one hairpin to set it up. Here's the steel for that. So while that's all hooked up, I can still show you how it works. So I'm not going to fire up the tractor engine, but I am going to fire up this engine and show you the controls off the tractor. So hang on. There you have it. I have my throttle and my ignition control from the tractor. Okay, and I'm going to let you go back to the other guy who can continue on with the test runs. So now we're going to take it for a test run on all this grass, which is probably close to 2 feet tall in some places. I mean, this is right up to my knee. Pretty tall stuff. We'll see how good it works. And don't mind the ugly seat. I make do with what I got. So here's my trailer plug coming back here, and this unplugs here if I have to unplug it. So let me get her all wired up. Oh, also, I want to mention that the wiring for this rear mower is isolated from the tractor. So I can start this and run this separate from the tractor as well. But when the tractor engine is running, it charges up both batteries. Both these batteries are linked together. So let me get you set up on this nice, comfy piece of concrete. And see what